All right. Well, coming off last year was basically a disaster of a year for us. We finished 1-10 and didn't win a conference game. Very disappointing, and it was a lot of adversity. We were a young team, and we didn't face that adversity last year very well, and didn't have very strong leadership on our team. We looked to make some major changes right after the season when it came to recruiting and off-season program and the spring practices, and coming in this year. Again, unfortunately, we'll be a young team, but I feel like we got better character kids on our team with some very young talent. So I'm anxious to see how it works out. That first game is going to be a great test for us and see how these young kids step up and produce. Spring practice went well as can be in winter workouts. I know offensively I feel pretty confident with the offense again. I laughed because I thought we were pretty good offense last year, and I think we were about fourth or so in the conference. Just goes to show what kind of fireworks these offenses in our conference can put up the numbers. But I feel confident with the offense. Defensively was our struggle last year, and again, unfortunately, we're going to be young. Looking on a few seniors and juniors for leadership. I feel really good about our team captains on offense and defense. 3 of our 4 captains are juniors. Outside linebacker Nick McGagan, looking to him have a big year, and defensive end Chris Galadic, also hoping he's going to have a big year on defense to help make some major improvements on that side of the ball. Offensively, junior tight end Zach Delo is going to be a captain, and a senior fullback Corey Queen. So I feel good about the leadership on both sides of the ball going into this year, and I do have some questions with some of the youth, especially at the defensive line positions and some of the wide receivers, because after it's going to be tough to replace. Although they didn't have very productive years last year, Antoine Jones on offense and Sammy Tranks due to injuries. But so I'm anxious to see what young kids now have the opportunity to step up and be a playmaker for us.
Coach, 2008, bit of a dream season. You go to the NCAA playoffs, you advance in the opening round of the NCAA playoffs, but you were hit heavily by graduation, and then the players you did have back, boy, you were hit by a sea of injuries in 2009 as well. So you've seen both ends of it in 2 years as a head coach.
Yeah, you said 2008 was a dream season, and 2009 was a dream season because a nightmare is still a dream, Reed, you know what I mean? So it was a nightmare, and I don't want to make excuses, but we did face a lot of adversity, and some key players got injured, and the leadership wasn't there, and those young kids weren't able to face that adversity and overcome it. So we're looking to build and get better and work hard.
Talking a little bit more about your personnel, DJ Lenahan passed for 1,930 yards after transferring from Toledo last year at Seton Hill. How's he going to continue to figure into the future?
Well, DJ's coming off of knee surgery. He got injured last year against Fairmont. He's rehabbed. He went through spring practices, and he should be 100%. I kind of expect him to be the starter, but we also have a senior, Nick Monleone, who was a very talented high school kid. He's going into his senior year, and I think there'll be some competition at that position. But I would think DJ, because he was the starter towards the end of the year before the injury, that he should pick up. And after the spring, he had a very solid spring.
You were very open late in the season last year talking about how much the injuries and the relative youth on defense had an effect. Is that the opportunity for greatest improvement this year?
I believe so. I think the key to our success is going to have to be health and staying healthy because, it's hard to build depth with our scholarship limits and our costs of school. Up there, it's going to be difficult ever to have a lot of depth. So, I think the biggest thing when I look back is that youth and the injuries. If we can stay healthy and some of these young kids grow up, we can be competitive. But just like I said last year, this conference doesn't get the respect it deserves throughout the country because it is such a good conference. And I guarantee you our top 3 or 4 teams in our conference can go and compete and win some playoff games. And unfortunately, they've only put 1 in, and I think we need to start working to figure out how to get 2 of our teams in there because, again, the competition and the coaching and the talent in our conference is second to none.
Seton Hill University head coach Joel Dolinski joining us on the 2010 WVIAC Football Preview Show.